Hi everybody, welcome to our class today. So we're going to get started right away and come to our seated mountain pose. So let's find our sit bones on our chairs and our feet are going to rest comfortably on the floor. And we're going to try to align our joints so knees are directly over our ankles, knees are in line with our hips. Let's rest our hands lightly on our laps, palms up or palms down, whatever feels more comfortable. And then we're going to gently extend out through the top of our head, gently aligning our spine. So we want to find that balance in the work of our muscles supporting our spine. And then softening into that space. Relax our shoulders. And if we feel comfortable, we can close our eyes. And just bring our awareness within. And just begin to notice how we're feeling today. You might notice any areas that feel overly tight or tense. And we might have some areas that we know we've had some issues with. So as we go through our practice today, let's be listening to and honoring our bodies and paying attention to these areas specifically. And remember that we adjust the poses to meet our body's needs for today. So you always want to be comfortable as we go through our practice. And just letting go of all our worries, all our anxious thoughts, and enjoy the practice today. So as we begin to just settle ourselves comfortably on our chairs, begin to connect with the relaxing flow of our breath as we inhale and exhale through our nose. Just let our bodies begin to breathe in our own natural relaxing rhythm. And notice that our inhalations and exhalations begin to even out. Just allow that inhalation to lengthen and deepen. You can maybe even feel a gentle expansion and contraction of our bellies as we breathe. Our bodies moving into a more relaxing, rhythmic flow of our breath. We can begin to feel our muscles relaxing, our joints releasing, and maybe releasing some of the stress and tension that we're holding on to in our face, our neck, our shoulders, our back, and our hips. Just feeling a little more relaxed, a little more centered, a little calmer with every breath we take. Just taking a few more breaths here, nice long even inhalations and exhalations through our nose. Just let go of any expectations of our practice. Remembering there's no judgment, there's no competition in yoga. Each one of us is doing our practice for our bodies for today. So let's take two more relaxing long inhalations in. On with it, two more relaxing exhalations out. And let's gently open our eyes, softly gaze ahead. We're going to start with some gentle neck stretches. We're going to warm up all the muscles and joints in our bodies. So taking an inhalation, shoulders are relaxed. We're still in our seated mountain pose. And on an exhalation, we're going to gently tuck our chin down towards our chest, just gently till we feel the nice gentle stretch in the back of our neck. And then on our inhalation, we're going to lift our chin up. So we're trying to keep the integrity in the back of our neck, lengthen through the front of our neck. So we should feel a nice stretch from our chin to our chest. And then exhale, gently tuck our chin down towards our chest again. And just go through that flow a few more times, matching breath and movement. We're going to go through this flow one more time, just maybe noticing we have a little bit more range of motion as those muscles warm up. Make sure we're not putting too much stress on the back of our neck. One last inhalation as we lift our chin up toward the ceiling. Exhale, let's come back to center. And take one relaxing breath here. Now we're going to stretch the sides. So we're going to On an inhalation, we're going to gently reach our left ear up towards the ceiling and just let that right ear gently drop towards the shoulder, feeling a gentle stretch along the left side of our neck. And then as we exhale, let's come back to center. And then inhale, right ear is gently going to lift toward the ceiling. And exhale, coming back. Let's do that flow 2 more times. Again, just moving and breathing at your own pace, working with our own comfortable range of motion. And let's come back to center. Again, take a nice relaxing breath. We already might feel a little longer, stronger in our neck. So we'll end with one more stretch with our rotation. So again, a nice long inhalation, shoulders stay relaxed. And as we exhale, we're going to gently rotate our head and neck to the right. And then inhale back to center, and then exhale, moving the other way. And again, just flowing 2 more times from side to side. Just warming up the joints. And when we're done, gently coming back to center. And just take a breath or 2 here. Checking in with our body, staying connected with our breath. And then on an inhalation, we're going to move to our shoulders. So on an inhalation, let's draw our shoulders up to our ears, shrugging. And then as we exhale, we're going to draw our shoulders all the way down. And then all the way up. And all the way down. One more time. Nice shrug, really scrunching our neck. And then as we exhale, slowly bring it back down. Good. Take a breath here. Go back to that neutral. And on our inhale, we're now going to draw our elbows, our shoulders back. So feel that gentle activation of our shoulder blades. And then as we exhale, both of our shoulders come forward. Inhale, we're going to move it back. And exhale forward. Just going through a range of motion in each direction. And now let's come back to center. Now we're going to add all 4 together. So we're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears. And then we're going to draw them all the way forward, all the way down, all the way back, and all the way up. So as we go through this flow, we're going to slowly start to smooth it out so it turns into more of a circle. Let's do it one more time in this direction, and then we're going to reverse and do the other. So let's come back to center, recenter, neutralize those shoulders. Take a nice focusing breath, and then we're going to bring our shoulders up. Roll them as far back as we can, bring them down, and then come forward and do that 2 more times. Just really feel our upper back starting to get massaged, that space between our shoulder blades. We can massage out stress and tension from there. And when we've completed our rotations, let's come back to our seated mountain. And again, take a breath and just check in. See all the space that we've created. So let's bring our arms down to our side. And we're just going to do some swings. Just start to wake up our arms, wake up our shoulder joints a little bit more. Just forward and back. We might want to warm up our elbows by bending and maybe even fisting and unfisting our hands, getting our finger joints involved. Just swinging back and forth. Just keep breathing. No specific patterns of the breath. Get that circulation down. And then as we come back to center, we're going to go sideways. So side to side. And see if you can crisscross the opposite way. Wake up the chest muscles, the upper back. So muscles and joints warming up, bringing some extra circulation. Good. And then both arms are going to come down. Take a breath or 2 here. And we're going to inhale our arms straight out. So we're going to come sideways. Palms are going to be forward. Relax your shoulders. On an inhalation, we're going to gently pull our shoulder blades towards each other in the back. And then as we exhale, palms are going to come all the way together in the front. As we inhale, we're going to open up our palms and bring them to our chest. Again, elbows come back. Exhale, we're going to come back forward. Inhale, extend back out. And we're going to do this flow a few more times. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and then let's lower both arms. Give both arms a nice shake. And then we can fist and flex our hands. Since we've got lots of circulation in our arms, let's Pump it into our hands, our fingers, our joints, and then circle our wrists around. Both directions. Get all the little cracks out. And then let's bring them back to our lap. And just take a breath or two here. Checking in with our body. Just seeing how we feel. So we're going to do one more shoulder warm up here. So we're going to start with our hands in front. So about shoulder height or chest height, palms are going to be up. So on an inhale, we're going to extend both arms over our head. As we exhale, elbows are going to be bent and our fingertips come to our shoulders. Next inhalation, we're going to bring our elbows down to chest height. Exhale, we're going to bring our elbows back up. Inhale, arms extend back overhead. Exhale, back to our original position. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, inhaling, exhaling, inhale, and exhale. 1 more time. Lengthening through our fingertips, exhale, giving ourselves a little pat on the back. Inhale, we're going to come down to the chest height. Inhale, back up, exhale, and then all the way back down. And again, feel free to roll your shoulders, shake out your hands, anything that feels good, and just take a breath or two here. Just feel the energy flowing. Check in with those areas that may need special attention, and feel free to grab water whenever you need to. So we're going to move on to the rest of our torso with our spine. So we might want to sit a little bit forward in our chair. We're going to start with our seated cat-cow. So hands are going to rest lightly on our thighs. We're going to start with that neutral spine, so shoulders relaxed. On an inhalation, we're going to gently open up our hearts toward the ceiling, shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades gently draw towards each other, lengthening through the front of our spine. So just imagine that we're separating the vertebrae in the front of our spine. As we exhale, we're going to start with our belly button, pulling back and rounding our entire spine forward. So shoulder blades separate, low back reaches towards the back of the chair, chin slightly tucks, cat pose. So arching our back like a cat. Inhale, we're going to flow back into cat. And then exhale back to cat. So going through our flow at our own pace, just noticing where our muscles might feel a little tight along our spine. Some of us have tighter low back, some of us hold tension in our upper back. So this is a really great pose to do every day just to loosen all those areas and help our spine stay nice and flexible. One last inhalation. One last exhalation, and then let's come back to that neutral position and take a breath or two here. So we stretch the front and back of our spine. Let's stretch the sides. So we can bring our hands to our side. And on an inhalation, we're going to gently reach over to the left. So we can start by just bringing our hand up along our ribs, and then exhale, we're going to lower, and then inhale, lengthen on the other side. So again, imagining if you could see the side of your spine, we're gently lengthening and opening up. We're also massaging all those little intervertebral discs so they stay nice and plump and lubricated. And then we might be able to bring our arm up all the way if that feels good. So we can keep our arm closer to our side, closer to our ribs, or extend all the way up. And let's take one more flow to each side. And then as we exhale, let's come back. Take a breath or two here. You might feel a little taller already, a little stronger. So now that we have some space in our spine, let's do our spinal twist. So we're going to cross our arms. So start with that neutral spine, nice long spine, relax our shoulders. Take an inhalation here. And as we exhale, we're going to gently twist to the right. Let's inhale back to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Going through our flow again, moving with our breath. And when we bring our breath and movement together, we're present in the moment and can listen to and honor our bodies. This time, as we gently twist to the right, we're going to turn our head to the left. And then as we come back to center, and then exhale, twisting one way, turning our head the other way. And let's do that one more time. So inhale, center. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right and turn our head to the left. And back to center and opposite side. Good. Back to center. Let's release our arms, come back to mountain. And if you feel the need to shrug your shoulders, feel free to do that. Take one nice relaxing breath, and then we're going to move to our lower body. So we can keep our hands on our lap, hold on to our chairs. You might want to scoot forward just a little bit, and we're going to start with a march. So just alternating. Let your feet flop to the floor. Just wake up all the little nerve endings, wake up the muscles in our legs. We're starting to wake up our hip joints. And then we might be able to lift our leg a little bit higher, do a high march once our muscles warm up. Again, we're still warming up, so range of motion, warming up our hip joints, our quadriceps, our hamstrings. Good. One more high march on each leg, and then as we come back, we're going to do our tap outs. So we might want to hold on to the chair here. We're going to tap out to the left first. So inhale, we're going to tap out and come back in, and then the other side. So alternating tap outs, just warming up that hip joint a little bit differently. One more time each side. And then let's come back. And we're going to scoot back a little bit. Take a nice breath here. Starting to feel the energy flow down to our legs. So let's inhale and extend our left leg straight out. And exhale, release. And again, it doesn't have to be a high lift. We're just warming up that joint, activating. We should feel our quadricep muscle activate. Alternating legs. Keep your spine nice and long. Make sure you're breathing. Next time we inhale our left leg, we're going to flex and point that foot. So pumping some blood, some energy down all the way to our toes, and then circle that ankle around. Again, getting out all the little cracks. Going in both directions, and then gently release that leg. And just take a moment, maybe feeling a little bit different energy in one leg and the other. So let's come to the other side. Let's inhale. We're going to point and flex. And then circle around. Both directions. And gently lower our leg. Take a breath or two here, and feel free to give anything a little shake. Now might be a good time to get a drink of water if we need water today. Check in with our bodies. And we're going to end our warm-up with our seated sun salutations. So, let's come back to mountain. We'll go through it 4 times, so the last 2 times we're going to add our twist. So let's bring our hands together to our hearts. Find our seated mountain, connect with our breath. On an inhalation, both arms sweep overhead. Exhale, we're going to come to cactus with our little hinge. Inhale, we're going to stabilize, lengthen our spine, hands on our thighs. Exhale, release to forward fold. So hands can stay on our thighs. We can slide them down to our ankles. Inhale, our right arm's going to sweep around and up. Exhale, let's bring it down. Inhale, the other arm. Belly's in, we're going to inhale both arms, extending arms overhead. As we exhale, arms come down, and we're going to reach that left leg up and out. And then the right leg. Inhale and exhale, hands to heart. Just take one breath to focus, and we're doing round 2. Let's inhale both arms overhead. As we exhale, cactus with our little hinge, so bellies are active, spine is long. Inhale, we're going to stabilize. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, as we sweep this right arm around and up, we can look at the mat straight ahead, or the floor straight ahead, or up at our hand. Depending on how our neck feels, let's lower on our exhalation. Inhale the other side. Exhale. Belly's in first. Inhale, we're unhinging, extending arms. As we exhale, press through the hands as we reach and press through the heel. And then we're going to do the other leg, both arms down again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to add on to this and do our little twist at the end. So let's inhale both arms overhead. Exhale, cactus with our hinge. Inhale, lengthen and align. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale as we sweep one arm around. Exhale. Inhale the other. And exhale. Inhale both arms. As we exhale, arms come down, one leg reaches out. And then let's do the other leg. And remember, we're going to add our twist. So inhale, as we exhale, we're going to come to cactus and twist to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, cactus and twist to the right. left, excuse me. Inhale and exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to do one more round. Feel free to sit this one out if you need to. Let's go. Inhale, last one. Exhale, cactus with our hinge. Inhale, nice long spine, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale, right arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, both arms. Exhale, arms down. One leg extends. Reach through the heel. And then we'll do the other leg. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to add our twist. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, elbows halfway as we twist to the left. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's come back to mountain and just take a breath or two here. Just feeling the energy, feeling the warmth in our muscles, the warmth in our joints. Starting to strengthen our muscles. And now we're going to come to our standing and do our standing poses. So let's come to the back of our chairs. And find our standing mountain pose. So just like our seated mountain pose, we want our legs hip distance apart. And you might want to rock back and forth and just shift the weight so weight is even on both legs, through both feet. And if we can see ourselves from the side, our ankles, knees, and hips are in alignment. Our hips, shoulders, and ears are in alignment. And then we want to soften and have all those muscles working together, gently hugging around our bones and joints. So our skeletons are supporting us with the help of all of our muscles. Again, we're connecting with our breath. And on an inhalation, we're going to sweep our left arm overhead and exhale, gently release it. And then our left arm. So bringing breath and movement together again. Breathing in and out through our nose. So now we're going to add our toe lift. So next time our left arm extends up, we're going to lift up on our toes and exhale lower. And then the right arm. Let's do that flow a few more times. So we're going to do 2 more times here. You can do one arm at a time, or if you'd like, we can lift both arms up, depending on how our balance feels. And one more time. And then we're going to exhale and give both legs a nice shake. Roll your shoulders. Take a breath or two here. And then we're going to step a little bit wider. So I'm going to turn sideways here. So a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And our toes are going to slightly come out. So we're going to go into our goddess pose. So let's hold on to the chair. We want our spine nice and long. Take an inhalation here, and as we exhale, we're going to bend both knees. So once we bend our knees, take a quick look and make sure your knees are tracking out in line with your toes, and our spine is still nice and long. And then we're just going to straighten up. Exhale, bend both knees. So kind of find that range of motion. We're working our hips. So this whole area, our hips, our legs, are sometimes called the center of our universe, because this is the area where we need our strength to walk, to move, and for our balance. So we want to keep these areas strong. So now let's do this one more time, and we're going to add an arm movement. So let's bring one arm out to the side. So we're going to start with our right arm. Our left arm's going to hold onto the chair. So take an inhalation here. Exhale, we're going to bend both knees and bend our right arm. Inhale, come back out, and then exhale. So we want to make sure that our shoulders are relaxed. Going in and out of cactus. One more time on this side. And then we can bring that arm down. Let's extend the other arm into the other side. So left arm out. So look out to the side and make sure we don't have our arm way up here, or if it needs to be lower, but we don't want to go any higher than our shoulder joint. Take a nice inhalation. As we exhale, we're going to bend both knees and bend that elbow. So one armed cactus. I almost feel like you're at a railroad crossing. Kind of, you know. Okay. And they used to have the flagman. Okay. Lower that arm. Let's shake out our legs for a second. We're going to go back into our goddess. And we're going to try to do both arms at one time. So, both legs are straight. Both arms are out to the side. Take an inhalation here as we exhale. Both knees, both elbows. And then come back out. Good. So keep that spine long. You don't have to bend your knees a lot, but we're warming up our knee joints, our hip joints, our elbows, working on our balance, our strength. One last time. Good, and then release. We're going to keep our legs like this. We're going to do a crescent flow. So a little work for our mind as well. So from this position, on an inhalation, we're going to bend our right knee and extend our right arm overhead. And then exhale, straighten and lower, and then go to the left side. So we're going to alternate sides here. We can keep our gaze ahead, or we can bring our gaze up to our fingertips if that's comfortable for our neck. So a little different stretch for our inner and outer thighs, working our hips, working our knee joints. One more time to each side. And then as we come back, let's step back and give both legs a good shake. You might even want to move your hips a little bit. Just kind of do a little side to side, a little sachet. Okay. So from our mountain pose, let's step to warrior one. So as we step back, it's like we're walking on a railroad track. So we want our feet to be separated. Left toes are forward, right toes are going to angle out just a little bit. And we want to be able to square our shoulders to the front of our chair. So if we had headlights on our shoulders, they would be looking straight ahead. So from here, reach into that heel, that right heel. That's our. That's going to be our stationary position here. And as we take an inhalation, we're going to bend our left knee and exhale, straighten. So using that right heel as an anchor. We're bending and unbending. So take a quick look down and make sure that your knee isn't going too far over your left knee isn't going too far over your left toes. Ideally, you want to try to keep the ankle and the knee in the best alignment we can. So let's add our right arm. So the next time we inhale this left knee and bend the left knee, we're going to extend our right arm and exhale, lower. Inhale. So spine stays long. We're moving with our breath, so it's a nice smooth flow. Next time we inhale, we're going to bend our left knee, extend our right arm, and hold here. So relax your shoulders, and we should be feeling a nice stretch in the front of this left hip flexor. Our left leg is active, and if we'd like to challenge ourselves, we can add the left arm. So a couple variations. Remember to breathe, relax your shoulders. One more inhalation. As we exhale, we're going to lower both hands. Bring it back to the chair, step our right foot back, and then give everything a good shake. So one of the problems with our modern society is that we're very sedentary and we sit a lot. And when we sit too much, these hip flexors in the front, the one we were just stretching, get very short and tight, which affects our walking, and our gluteal muscles get very loose and weak, which affects our going up and down stairs and getting in and out of chairs. So this pose is really good, the warrior one, for helping strengthen those areas. So let's go to the other side. Make sure we're even. So step back on our little railroad track. So you want to be in a position, stepping back so that you can keep your spine long. So you don't want to be so far back that you have to lean forward. And then lightly turn that back foot out. Anchor through that left heel. And on an inhalation, bend the right knee. So we're going to flow in and out. Just get our muscles used to what we're doing. Get our joints warmed up for this position. And we can be checking on our alignment as well, making sure that right knee is staying in line. It should be tracking right over our right toe. And now let's add our left arm. So inhale, left arm as our right knee bends. Next inhalation, we're going to keep our knee bent, keep our arm extended, and we're going to make some minor adjustments. So we're going to soften through the shoulders, so release all the tension out of your shoulders. Stabilize through your legs. Feel your belly slightly engaged, spine nice and long, and if we feel balanced today, we can add our right arm. Breathing here. One more inhalation. As we exhale, arms are going to come back to the chair first, and then we can step our left foot back. Give both legs a nice shake. And we're going to do our downward dog just as our counterbalance to our warrior one. So holding onto the chair, take an inhalation here. We're going to hinge from the hips. So we're going to start to walk our legs backward, holding onto the chair. So imagine that someone's holding onto your hips, gently trying to pull you away from the chair, and you're holding on for dear life. Ideally, we want to get our spine parallel to the floor, our heads between our arms. So bend your knees as much as you need to find that position. Feel nice lengthening. Try to reach that tailbone to the wall behind you. Take 2 more nice, deep, relaxing breaths. And then slowly start to walk our way back to the chair. And once we're there, give everything a good shake. Roll your shoulders. And we have one more pose, our balance pose. And we're going to do tree pose today. So, because that is also strengthening for our hips. So we have the front of our hip, the back of our hip, and we have the side of our hip, the medius. And this muscle is very important for our balance. So we want to focus. So I'm going to turn this way. And we're going to start with our right leg being our standing leg. So that's our tree trunk. So we want to make sure we've got strong roots. Right, tree lady, we need strong roots. Little bend in the knee, nice long spine. So sometimes when we kind of shift our weight to one leg, one hip tends to come out. So we want to pull that hip in. That's going to activate that muscle. Then we're going to take our left leg and we're going to slide the heel and rest it on the ankle. Toes on the floor. So maybe we can bring one hand to our hip. Maybe 2 hands. This might be our pose. A little more challenging might be to bring our hands to our hearts. And then anyone who would like more of a challenge can lift their left toes off the floor. Keep that right hip tucked in there, don't let it fall out. Let's take 2 more breaths. And slowly. Hands back, leg down, give everything a good shake. Nice job, everybody. One more side. So this might be your better side or worse side. So let's see. Because usually one hip's a little stronger than the other. So let's establish our roots, get our nice strong tree trunk. Make sure our hips are nice and strong. And we're going to rest the ankle, the heel on the ankle. So toes on the mat. So this is, stay here for just a breath or 2 and let our bodies adjust. So we've shifted our weight. Keep this hip from coming out. So tuck that in. And then maybe we can bring one hand to our hip. Find a a spot to look at in front of you. Keep breathing, maybe 2 hands. Maybe hands to heart. Maybe we can lift our toes. Just don't hold your breath, breathe. And any of the variations of our tree pose are strengthening our muscles and our joints. One more inhalation, exhale. Hands down, both feet down, everything gets a good shake. Feel free to roll your shoulders, and then we're going to take a seat in our chair once more. And as we find our seated mountain pose once more, we can close our eyes, grab a drink if you'd like, and let's take a few breaths and just check in with our body. Let's check in with those areas that maybe needed special attention. And maybe just notice differences in how our body feels as we come into the last part of our practice today. So from our seated mountain pose, make sure we have a nice long spine. We're going to inhale both arms overhead. So we're going to take a few breaths here. We're going to sink our hips into our chair, extend our arms, keep our shoulders soft. And every inhalation, see if you can create a little more space along the sides. Breathe into the sides of your ribs, so feel that gentle expansion and contraction there. One more inhalation as we lengthen, exhale. We're going to try to keep all that space as we relax our arms back to our side. Take a breath here. Next inhalation, we're going to extend our arms out to the side. So gently on our inhalation now, relax along your shoulders. So make sure your arms are a little bit below your shoulders. And we're going to reach through our fingertips. So every inhalation, see if you can touch the wall on either side of the room. Keeping the spine long, breathing across the front of our rib cage. Expanding there, so feel that expansion, working those intercostal muscles that help us breathe. So our diaphragm and the muscles in our ribs pull the air in and out of our lungs. One more inhalation. Exhale, gently lower. So just feeling all the expansive space in our ribs, in our chest, for our lungs. So let's inhale both arms overhead. And this time we're going to exhale into cactus. So arms are halfway down, palms are forward. Let's gently draw our shoulder blades together. So we're stabilizing our upper back, gently lengthening through the crown of our head. From here we're going to go into our seated forward fold. So take an inhalation here. We're going to start to hinge forward. So let's just go a little way, like we're looking over the edge of a cliff. So maybe looking out over our toes. Our spine is still nice and long. We feel strong and stable. Our back muscles, core muscles, all strengthening here. Take one more inhalation. Exhale. Hands only are going to float to our laps. Elbows are going to hug down to our side. So take one more inhalation here. Exhale. We're going to gently lower our bellies onto our thighs. So now we're looking down between our feet. So if we have some issues with blood pressure, with glaucoma or pressure behind our eyes, we might want to stay in this position today. Also, if our allergies are bothering us and we have a lot of congestion. If we're all good on all those counts, take another inhalation and exhale. We might want to slide our hands down and relax into a full seated forward fold. Just letting our head kind of hang and relax. Let your arms relax. And now we want to focus on breathing through the back of our rib cage. Just feel that gentle expansion and contraction in the back of our ribs, our low back. You might feel a little bit along the sides. So before we come out of our forward fold, we're going to slide our hands back up and place them on top of our thighs and hug our elbows in. So as we hug our elbows in, shoulder blades activate. So upper back is active. Take one more inhalation here. As we exhale, we're going to press both hands into our legs and gently lift our entire upper body out of our forward fold. Once we're fully upright, feel free to roll your shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. And then we're going to take our straps. So we're going to move down to our lower body. So again, we have our hips. We have our hip flexors in the front, the gluteus medius on the side, the gluteus maximus in the back that are all important. But then we also have our upper legs. So we have our quadriceps and our hamstrings. So we're going to work on those muscles now. So let's wrap our strap around the ball of our left foot. And we're going to extend our leg up. So again, it doesn't have to be high, but you want to be able to activate the muscles. We're gently pulling the strap in as our heel gently moves out. So nice long spine, and just take a few breaths here. From here, we're going to grab the strap with our left hand. You can hold onto the chair here, and we're going to inhale and extend that leg out. We're still reaching through the heel, so now we're working the inner and outer thighs. Staying here, we might want to turn our head the opposite way. If we want a little more challenge, let's extend our arm out as well and look at our thumb. Take one more deep inhalation, exhalation. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our leg in, bring our arm, and we're going to switch. So switch sides, hold onto the chair. You might have to lift your leg a little bit more or lower this one, and we're going to come the other way. So now we're stretching the outer. This is the iliotibial band, and if this is tight, it's going to affect our knee joint. So from here, maybe we want to turn our head the opposite way. A little more challenge is add the arm. Keep the spine long, keep the shoulders relaxed. One full inhalation and exhalation here. And then as we exhale, everything's going to come to center, and we can release our leg. And take a breath or two here. Maybe noticing a difference in one leg and the other. And then let's go to the other side. So let's shift to the other foot. And again, we might notice that there's a difference in the hips as we go through this. So start with that nice long spine. Sit bones are on the chair. Relax shoulders. Take a few breaths here. So we're gently using the strap to draw our toes in, heels out. So we're getting a nice stretch through the back of our leg. It's moving up through our hip. So as we shift the strap to our right leg, left hand can hold onto the chair. Let's extend out to the side. So again, working within your range of motion. Keep the spine long, so bellies are always engaged. And then maybe we want to turn our head opposite. And maybe we want to add that arm. Keep the spine long, keep the shoulders relaxed. One full breath here. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring everything to center. Switch the strap to the other hand. Hold on. You might have to lift the leg or lower the other leg and gently come across. So again, feeling a stretch. Keep the spine long, maybe turning our head. Take a breath or two here. And then maybe add the arm for a little more challenge. Take one full inhalation and exhalation here. And then as we exhale, let's bring everything back to center. Lower the leg. And take a breath or two here. We can put our straps down. So we're going to do a little bit of core work. We're going to do our reverse ab crunches. So we're going to scoot up in the chair a little bit. Feet are flat, nice long spine. So let's start with our hands on our thighs. We normally hinge forward. This time we're going to hinge back. So this length in our spine we're going to keep. We're going to keep our shoulders relaxed. We're going to take an inhalation here. Exhale. We're just going to hinge back enough to feel these abdominal muscles engage. And then as we inhale, we're going to come back forward. Exhale, we're going to come back down. Come back. Inhale. So abdominal muscles release as we inhale. They activate as we exhale. You don't want to go so far back that your lower back starts to round. You want to keep that. So hearts are always lifted. Now maybe we can add an arm. A little more challenging. And the other arm. One more time with one arm only. And then we're going to do it 2 more times, so either alternating arms or maybe both arms. One last time. And coming back. We can scoot back in our chair. Feel free to roll your shoulders. And we're just going to do a few little cat-cows just to release all those muscles. So hands on our thighs. Let's do a gentle inhalation into a cow and a gentle exhalation into a cat. Let's go through that flow a few more times. One last inhalation. One last exhalation. And then let's come back to our neutral seated mountain pose. So we strengthened our core. We're going to strengthen across our chest and upper back. So we're going to do our finger pulls. So for our finger pulls, we're going to take our hands. One palm is going to face the other. We want our arms to be about chest height. Relax your shoulders. So this is an isometric exercise. So we're going to slide our hands apart and hook our fingers together. So, and then we're going to pull and release. So we're going to do it 3 times. So on an inhalation, we're going to pull our hands apart. Exhale, inhale, exhale, release. Just take one breath. And again, inhale, pulling apart. So we're strengthening our chest, our upper back. So this is helpful for our posture. Release. Let's do it one more time. So pulling apart, take a few breaths. Keep those muscles energized as we breathe. Long, even inhalations and exhalations. And then as we exhale, slowly release. Slow our arms. Take a breath or two here. And then feel free to roll your shoulders. Turn your head. Anything that feels good, just release all those muscles. Take a nice cleansing breath. And then we're going to end with our seated twist. So feet are on the floor, nice long spine. We're going to keep our hands on our laps to start. So on an inhalation, let's lengthen our spine. As we exhale, we're going to gently begin our twist to the right. Keeping our spine long. Every inhalation, see if you can lengthen your spine a little bit more, create a little more space. Exhale, gently flow into the space. Again, we're listening to our body, finding the pose that meets our needs for today. Gently with every breath, working our way up our spine. And eventually, the last part to move will be our neck, so we might want to bring a gentle gaze over our right shoulder if that's comfortable for our neck. And take 2 breaths here. One last inhalation, exhale. We're going to slowly float our way back to center. Take a breath or 2 here. Just let our body, our energy flow into all that space. And then we'll move to the other side. So inhale, let's lengthen our spine, create some space. Exhale, gently twist to the left. We're moving in increments, creating space as we inhale, gently flowing into that space as we exhale. So we can lightly rest our right hand on our lap, our left hand, somewhere along our chair. If it's comfortable, we might be able to drape it over the back of the chair. Working our way up our spine, and the last thing to add is a gentle twist in our neck, bringing our gaze over our left shoulder. 2 breaths here. One more inhalation. Exhale, slowly flowing out of our throats. As we come back to mountain, taking a breath or 2 here. So feel free maybe to roll your shoulders again. We're going to start to move into final relaxation. So maybe rolling our shoulders. We're going to do one more gentle neck stretch. So let's take an inhalation and lengthen along our spine. Make sure our neck is nice and long. And exhale, we're going to gently bring our right ear to our right shoulder. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, we're going to gently roll our chin to chest. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhaling here. Exhale, roll into the other side. We're going to do it one more time. So on our next exhalation, gently rolling chin to chest. Inhale here, exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale here, exhale, chin to chest. Take a breath here. And next inhalation, we're going to gently stack all the little vertebrae in our neck and come back to sitting. Take a breath here. And then we're going to move into a nice comfortable position for final relaxation. So finding our sit bones, feet are in a comfortable position. If you would like to lightly rest your back on the back of the chair, as long as we're not ragdolling into our chair, we can have a little extra support. Closing our eyes. Let's connect with the relaxing flow of our breath. Inhalations and exhalations through our nose. Just feel that gentle flow in and out through our nose. Connect with the gentle expansion and contraction of our bellies as we breathe. With every breath, allow our bodies to relax. Our face, our neck, our shoulders. Relaxing our arms, our hands, our fingers. Relaxing our back and hips. Relaxing our legs and feet. You feel grounded, stable, centered, relaxed, calm, fully present in this moment as we enjoy final relaxation. we're going to begin to gently wake ourselves up. Just gently begin to stretch and move. Take a few deeper, more energizing breaths. And as we feel ready, let's bring our hands to our hearts. Just take a moment to acknowledge everything we're feeling. Acknowledging everything our practice brought us today. And as we take our last inhalation, let's draw everything into our hearts, sealing it there to bring home and joy. Namaste.